Hey guys, what's up? I Bubba's bringing you another D4 video today. Just been playing the open beta weekend. Um and yeah, it's been fun. I haven't played as much as I was going to. I wanted to try Twin Blades on the Rogue and I didn't get to that. And I wanted to gear my Thorns barb up a little more. I wanted to try to get like 1,000 thorns, just so I could mess around with it a little bit, but I didn't do that either. But I did get up a druid and a necro to 25, and yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to do anyway, was to test them out. And my main thoughts on the game are still the same. I think it's amazing. It's like a 10 out of 10 for a beta. Again, I hope there's things that they change once the game fully releases. Because we know this isn't the current state of the game. They have a newer version of the game. This is just the version we get to play right now. And hopefully, with this beta weekend, they take the feedback and they make some changes. Um, but one big takeaway is cosmetics. Everybody's like, oh, there's cosmetics and ruin my immersion, blah, blah, blah. And that, like a game like Path of Exile, like most items in the game look terrible. Like if you don't have cosmetics, your character looks terrible. But in this game, the cosmetics that you get in the game to transmog are amazing. Like look at these. Like this is my favorite one, the sorceress. It looks so clean. And these are just items you get in the game. So who needs to buy, cosmetics with stuff like this? And don't get me wrong, I'll probably buy cosmetics because that's just what I do. But I feel like as a player, you won't have you won't be like dying to buy a cosmetic because your character looks so bad, and that's the main thing, is that the armor in the game actually looks good. And this is only like level 25 stuff. So, there may be in-game stuff that's even better than this. But let's get into the bad side. Druid. Um, so I made two barbs, and people are like, "Oh, barb is so slow to level." But the thing about barbarian is barbarian gets better like as you start getting up in the levels. Like, right, like once you get like level 20ish, you start to where you're like really clapping. Um, and I had fun with barb, especially the thorns barb was actually pretty decent to level. It's no sork or necro, but the thorn barb was much better than whirlwind barb when I leveled. But I still had tons of fun with the barb, even though it was slow and painful leveling. But the druid is just on another level. Let's just get into this. I don't even want to log into this character. So I stopped playing this character at level 17. And I was just like, I'm done with Druid. Like, I don't want to play anymore. Like, it's so bad. Like, I've tried every single skill, and they're just all bad. There's, like, nothing good about this class that I can find. And finally, I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just get to level 25 because I want to give an honest review on it. And who knows, maybe by 25, it'll just be an amazing class. Spoiler alert, it's not. Like it actually, I think Druid actually gets worse the higher levels I got. Like maybe it was just because it was so slow and boring, and like nothing was like fun. Like like I don't like Rogue, but I had fun leveling a Rogue, right? Like I actually had fun leveling my Rogue, even though I didn't like it. And I thought Rogue was going to be on the bottom of my list for characters to play because I'm like, I just don't like the play style of Rogue. But I actually had fun playing Rogue. Druid was like the opposite. All the skills are fun. Like Werewolf is fun, Bear is fun, Tornadoes are fun, but they deal zero damage. It's like they heal the enemy. It's so bad. It's so bad that Like I'm just like, man, I'm done with this class. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna get to level 25. That way, because I know you have like this one guy that's like, oh, well, you only played Druid to level 24, and that's why if you would have played to 25, it got much better. So I'm like, I'm gonna play the Druid to 25. One bad thing, and I hate this, Barb was the same way. The special thing, like every class gets like a special thing, and Barb and Druid does you can't unlock them because the skill quest is clear up here. Like I wish they would have just given that to us for free without having to do a quest just for the beta. Even pop up like a disclaimer like, "Hey, we're giving this to you for free, but later in the game you're going to have to do a quest to unlock it." Something. But to be honest, like there's nothing in here that could make this build better, like unless they give you like times 1,000 damage and like 200 spirit regen per second. And by the way, we only have like 100 spirit. But unless they did something drastic in this tree, like I don't see this build getting better at all. Like it is literal trash. So I've played everything. I even tried Earth, and to be honest, it wasn't any worse than the rest of the skills. Um, right now I have Wind Shear, and I have it pumped up just to squeeze every little bit of damage I can out of this build because it's so bad. Like I have, like even vulnerable, like all your skills on this wind make enemies vulnerable. Just so you know, enemies that are vulnerable take 30% increased damage. It's insane. Like on Barbarian, whenever you make something vulnerable, you just like one-shot it. On this build, you make something vulnerable and then you just heal it more. Like it's so bad. I tried Werewolf and I tried Bear. Now, Pulverize is pretty good, and I had this special ring. Um, I think I still have it. Pulverize creates a shockwave that travels forward. Like, that was fun, but it wasn't good. Like, yes, some trash. Like, bats. You could one-shot bats. Whoop-de-doo. Necro and Sorceress and even Barb, you just look at bats and they die. you know, but, yeah, you can one-shot some enemies with Pulverize, and it is a fun skill, but it's still just bad. I tried the lightning skill, same thing. Like, it was a little fun when I first started playing it, and then it was just bad. It's a channeling skill, which is just, I don't like. Shred was fun. Um, I'd say Pulverize is probably the best melee, in my opinion. But Shred was pretty fun as well. But again, just the damage isn't there, right? Like, it's just not that great. Um, then I got Cyclone Armor for defensive. I tried Earthen Bulwark, and it's pretty decent as a defensive skill. But this gives you every 10 seconds you gain 30% damage reduction. Like if an enemy breathes on you, you die with this build. Like even playing Bear, which Bear gives you a ton of fortify stuff. Like I took a ton of fortify stuff, ton of healing, and still could get like one shot in Bear form. It was ridiculous. And then the pets are just useless. At first I went full ravens because I was like, ooh, I want to be like a windy druid to start with. So I went like full ravens to kind of just, get the wind vibe going. They're bad. Like the active skill in this isn't too terrible, but I mean, with the cooldown and stuff, it's not good. And I actually tried going full pets. I thought, well, maybe if I go full pets, Vine Creeper with some poison and the wolves. I went full pets, nothing. Like, it was super bad. And I even had a weapon. I kept one. This isn't the weapon that I used at the time because I imprinted it on a two-hander. And this is a one-handed axe, but gain one additional companion. In addition, your companion skills deal 105% bonus damage. Even that could not like make this build good. Like it's so bad. The Cataclysm is fun, but still it does like no damage. Like I'll show you. It does no damage. Hurricane, like playing especially the melee builds, I thought, ooh, once I get Hurricane, it'll be good, right? Nope. I went full melee, maxed out Hurricane, and still it was terrible. The boulder is actually fun. It's like bowling, especially in like maps that are narrow, like caves and stuff. You throw it down through there and it just knocks enemies back. But again, it doesn't do enough. Rabies, I thought, ooh, I could go like a rabies druid. That would be fun, right? No, it's not. The trample, by the time I got to try trample, I didn't. I just said I'm not even going to bother. Who knows? Maybe trample's the best skill in the game, but like I just couldn't be bothered to try it. The most fun I had on this character is when I hit level 25 and I could log off and play Necro. Like like literally, which I actually made my Necro earlier. Like I said, at level 17 I was done with this character. Like and I switched to Necro and like within a few hours got it to level 25 and had a blast. But with this character, man, it's grueling and it's bad. I don't recommend. They gotta change something. Like right now, like I said before, Rogue was at the bottom of my list of characters to play just because I didn't like the play style. But now Druid is at the bottom. Like I will never make a Druid unless they make drastic changes. The problem is you don't deal any damage and you don't have any spirit regen. Like on Sorceress, on Rogue, on Necro, even Barb has better like Fury regen than this thing has spirit regen. Like it's so terrible. Let me just show you. I'll do this dungeon that I've been doing to level up and I'll just show you the sheer power of the Druid. Okay, the sheer power of this build. And this is with any build. I've done this dungeon so many times with so many different builds. I've respec'd a ton of times trying to find some redeeming quality. And like I said, the only redeeming quality to Druid is when you get to log off and play another class. Like that's it. Like that's the only thing that makes it good. Alright, are you ready? Let's get some enemies. Here we go. This is all the damage. This is full damage. The most damage I could possibly do on this build. Look how terrible. Look how terrible that was. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. Look at this. This normal enemy could almost kill me. And these things are vulnerable. Come on, let's get the wind in here. Like it's just painful. Come on, attack the enemy. And the worst part is sometimes if you're close, well now it's not going to do it. But sometimes if you're like close to a wall, you'll just like it won't spawn like say I'm attacking stuff here, like it'll hit the wall here. Your tornado will hit the wall and it'll just disappear. Like it won't even spawn a tornado. It's like, come on, man. I wasted so much resources. 40 spirit just to spawn a stupid tornado that does no damage, that still doesn't even like do anything because it hit a wall. Oh, here's an elite pack. We're basically dead here because we can't kill this elite. Here we go, full damage again. I'm gonna pop my storm. Full damage. This is the most damage Druid can do right here. Just look at this. Obliterating the enemies. Obliterating it. I'm done, man. Like, can I please leave? Leave this game. Oh, I'm so done with Druid. The transmog, though, I like the transmog. I think the transmog on the Druid looks pretty cool, you know? But like I'm not gonna play Druid to get a transmog. So yeah. Let's move on to something playable. Um, Necro, look at this. Beautiful. I love the scythe too. Scythe looks great. The Necro is actually fun. Okay. I promise you. The Necro is an actual fun build to play. Um, and I don't understand. Like, so Blizzard made this statement. They're like, oh, but, we feel that it's good to have, like, classes vary, and, like, leveling experience. And while I agree to a certain extent, right, like, they said this after last weekend because so many people complained about Barbarian. They're like, oh, Barbarian's so slow and blah, blah, blah. I love Barbarian, so maybe that's why I didn't have too bad of a time. Don't get me wrong, it was slow and painful to level, but I still had fun playing it, you know? And then, everybody complains you know, um, about the Barb, and then Druid's just like, hold my beer, boys, I got this. You want to complain about Barb? Let me give you a character to complain about. It's just bad. It's just terrible. Here's the Necro. Now, one fun thing that I didn't notice about Necro, like I totally noobed it up. So you can see I got this Golem boy. You don't get the Golem to level 25, but it's so cool. Anyway, so you have like these skeletons and these mages, right? You can see I have 3 mages, 4 skeletons. And through the entire game, I'm like, man, I wish they had a tooltip, right, to tell you, hey, you have 4 skeletons out, you have 3 mages out, because I kept having to count, like visually look and be like, all right, I still got all my mages, I still got, oh, I'm missing a skeleton, let me raise a skeleton. And this is a testament to how little I had to worry about my resource, right? With Druid, I was constantly looking at my resource, right, to see, look, right here, 4 skeletal warriors, 3 skeletal mages. I didn't I didn't see this until literally level 25. I was level 25 before I noticed this, and I'm like, oh, there is a thing that tells you how many. Because I never had to look at my essence. This character, like, for one, corpse explosion, which is like one of the best skills in the game, uses absolutely nothing. You can just, as long as you have a corpse on the ground, you can just cast this infinitely, you know? And you have so much spirit regen. I'll show you guys. And I don't have, there's a, there's a weapon that I was trying to get because you can see I ended up decking this character out in legendaries because I loved playing the character so much that once I hit 25, I actually kept playing to get gear. When you look at my druid, you're like, oh, you don't have that many legendaries. Well, no, that's because as soon as I hit level 25, I quit playing because it wasn't fun. This character I actually kept playing. And if you look at my attack power on my druid, I think was like 424 or something. It wasn't, much different from the Necro, which it just blows my mind that you can be about the same attack power, but your skills just still do no damage on druid compared to Necro. But anyway, there's a weapon that whenever you cast Mist, I think it's whenever you cast Blood Mist, you like cast Corpse Explosion or something. It's insane. I was trying to get it, but I couldn't get it. But I got a nice Decompose weapon here, which is kind of fun. And I don't think I have anything else. Well, there's another. Decompose spawns a corpse, and you gain 10 essence. You don't need that at all, but hey, it's more essence regen. As if Necro didn't have enough essence regen, they give us even more. This one's nice. Well, that's the same as this one, I think. Yeah, Decompose chain up to 2 times. I had this one first, but then I got the weapon. I thought there was another Decompose one, but I guess maybe not. Um, but yeah, fun class. The Book of the Dead is really cool. I'm using Reapers. For the longest time, I used Defenders, and they were pretty decent. The Skirmishers weren't bad either. But obviously, these unlock at certain levels. But I'm using the Reapers because they can carve flesh off enemies, forming a corpse. So especially on bosses, it can give us free corpses that we can use to kill the boss. And then on mages, I'm just sticking with cold. Bone seems like it might be okay, but I never even tried bone. I really like the freeze from these guys. But yeah, really, any of these are pretty good. I played with Shadow for a while. Like I said, I didn't really try Bone because I didn't want to keep having to recast my skeletons because, like I said, I didn't know they had that nice little tooltip there. And then, of course, you get this Golem. And this is Bone Golem, takes up to 20% of its maximum life as damage, and it sheds a corpse. Right? It just gives us a free corpse. This is maximum life and thorns. So you could kind of build thorns, and this guy has a taunt, right? Your your necro actually has it, or your golem actually has a taunt. So active, your golem becomes unstoppable and taunts nearby enemies and takes 30% reduced damage for 6 seconds. So you could literally use this as kind of like a thorns build, but you don't need it. Necro is so good. You literally don't need it. So what I haven't really tried anything except Decompose, to be honest. Decompose has just been so good, and like you really don't even need to use it, but you know, you have some minions deal 10% increased damage. You don't need that at all. Like literally I could just take Decompose off my bar and still be good. But it helps a little. It helps a little. Um all these, so I tried most of these. I think all of them. Blood Lance is terrible. Don't use Blood Lance, but all the other ones are about the same. But I really like Bone Spear because it has this thing. Yeah, when you shoot it out, it breaks into 3 shards and it returns. Like it comes back to the enemies. Like it's so cool. Um, but yeah, uh, it's pretty awesome, and it makes an enemy vulnerable. Right? The first enemy you hit vulnerable, which is really nice against bosses. Lets you take down bosses a lot faster using vulnerable. But honestly, I've used Blood Surge, Blight, and Sever, and they're all okay. Like literally, you can just take any one of these you want. I just really enjoyed Bone Spear. I have Corpse Explosion maxed. You probably don't even need it max, to be honest. Just put a point into it's probably enough. It does so much damage. But for whatever reason, I need to take a drink. But for whatever reason, like I just wanted to go for as much damage as I could. You can see I have 7 points in the corpse explosion with my gear. And so yeah, again, Skeletal Warrior Mastery. Again, I just wanted to go for max damage to just see what I could do. You don't need all this. Like, the build does fine without this, but hey, damage is damage. Same here. Consuming a corpse generates 3 essence. This is huge. You can put more points into this, but honestly, you have so much essence regen anyway that it doesn't matter. It's just a nice little bonus that as you're blowing up corpses, you're gaining essence back. And then, of course, we got another 12% increased damage for 4 seconds after you consume a corpse. You're always consuming corpses, so you're pretty much always doing that 12% increased damage. No curses. You don't need it. I mean, later on in the game, once I start gaining more levels, like past 25, I would probably put some points into some curses, but you don't need it. I pumped up the Skeletal Mages, same reason. I just wanted damage, damage, damage. Which you don't need, by the way. Like, you could take these out and it still does insane damage. Like, literally. Then we have Corpse Tendrils. It's really fun. It pulls everything in. It also makes them vulnerable, which is nice. And what this does is this allows you to pull everything in and then you just explode everything. But, to be honest, you don't even need this. Like, half the time I kill stuff before I'm able to pull everything in with the Corpse Tendrils. So To be honest, you don't even really need this most of the time. But it is fun. Pull everything in, blow everything up. Um, really haven't messed with any of this stuff. I wanted to do Army of the Dead, but I'm like, you know what? Instead of putting some points in the Army of the Dead,
I cannot do that.
like, so this is like Army of the Dead's like a big cooldown, right? Over 7 seconds, you send out a bunch of skeletons, but it has a 90-second cooldown. And I'm like, I don't need a big like kill button. You want to know what my big kill button is? My big kill button's right here, corpse explosion. Like that's my big kill button. So I don't need anything else. So I decided I'm just going to pump up damage where I could find it here, 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 and just forget about it. Now, like I said, I played with Blood Mist a little bit because I wanted I wanted the legendary power that makes it explode corpses because that would be fun. I've seen people using it and it's super overpowered. Once you get blood mist, you just go into your blood mist and all the corpses around explode. It's dumb, but I wasn't able to get the weapon, which I'm really sad about. It was the same with sorceress, right? I wanted the double Hydra legendary power for sorceress, but I could never get it. But whatever. You don't need it. Let's do this same dungeon and show you just how bad the druid is. Like I had an absolute blast. So I'll show you the golem because I haven't played with the golem too much because I got it uh, after I hit level 25, obviously. Um, but watch, you can send him in, and boom, he just taunts things. Check that out. And look at this damage. Like I'm not even like I haven't hit any button but my golem, and we've already killed stuff. I didn't use corpse explosion. I didn't use tendrils, and we're already killing stuff faster than the druid. Like we're already 10 times faster than what the druid was. Let me use some bone spikes, use my tendrils, which, like I said, I killed everything before tendrils could come up anyway. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, like, how good this build is. Like, this puts Druid to shame. Like, I can just sit here and enemies just die. I'll show you the tendrils. Boop, they suck. Well, that guy was standing right next to the corpse. But let me make a corpse and see if I can actually show you how tendrils works. Suck everything in, and then you just explode it all. And yeah, that's Necro, man. Like, super fun. Just corpse explodey everything. So much better. So much better than Druid. It's insane. It's insane how much better this is. Like, and look, like, I haven't lost, like, any health. Like, it's just insane. Like, and I don't even have to do anything. Like, just walk and stuff will die. Like, look how much damage these things do. Like, I'm not using any abilities. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't need any essence. Like, I can just go make a sandwich, and then if I want to make guys invulnerable, I can do that. It just... Like, there's a difference. Like, I get what Blizzard's saying, right? Like, oh, they want, like, different characters to feel different, and, like, it wouldn't be fun if every character was just, overpowered. But at the same time, like, this much disparity, like, in classes, like, come on, Blizzard. Like, you need to buff up Druid. Buff up Barb a tiny bit. Buff up Druid a metric boatload because it is just terrible to play. And actually let us enjoy the game a little bit. But yeah, that's Necro. Like I said, super fun. transmog's amazing. Like, my Necro looks amazing. My Necro feels amazing. My Necro is amazing. It's great. Man, I love it. Absolutely banger of a class. I actually thought like, man, maybe I'll go Necro at the start. It's not gonna happen, by the way. I'm definitely going Barb at the start. Barb in game, um, because I played the in game beta a while back. Barb is just epic at in game. That's all I can really tell you. I'm not allowed to really say anything about the closed betas and stuff. But I can tell you, Barb was absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to play in-game Barb again. Um, but Necro's fun, Source is fun, uh, Rogue, Rogue is okay. You know, it, if you like the playstyle of Rogue, you'll probably enjoy it. I enjoyed Rogue. It's just the playstyle wasn't fun to me, but the skills themselves were pretty good. Um, Look at this guy. You think you're a better Necro than me? But yeah. Anyway, super fun build, and I did change up for Golem. Uh, when I got my Golem, because I did have others. I think I had red. I think I had Blood Mist. Uh, but then that's when I spec'd like full damage, and because I was like, I'm gonna put this Golem on my bar. There's no world in which I'm not gonna have this big Golem following me around. You know. So that's why I ended up switching out to like this full damage build. Um, but yeah, really fun build. Like I said, I didn't try any of these other ones. I pretty much just stuck with Decompose, and I didn't feel the need to get Army of the Dead because the cooldown's too long. Like by the time this cooldown hits, like I will have completed the dungeon anyway. When you're going like super fast through a dungeon, you know, you don't want long cooldowns because it's like you're only going to be able to use it once per dungeon. But yeah, against bosses it does really good too, um, especially once you make them vulnerable. Usually what I do is I make them vulnerable. I let my skeletons hit on them a little bit. That drops some corpses to the ground. And when I was using Red Mist, I think there's a thing, yeah, it sheds a corpse every second. So that helped. You go into Red Mist, stand close to the boss, you drop some corpses, then you back up and boom, you make him vulnerable and you explode him and the boss is dead. Like literally if you have like, you know, some corpses on the ground, the boss just gets evaporated. It's insane. Um, but yeah, like I said, Bone Spear, super fun. Um, I wish I like look at the damage this does. 586 damage. Like for reference, I think the most damaging skill I had uh on Druid was like what? Like I think my Hurricane does 384 damage over 6 seconds. This just does 586 instantly. Like it's ridiculous like the disparity between Druid and Necro. Like ridiculous. Like they need to pump up Druid ASAP. And I was really surprised because I didn't play Druid in any of the past closed betas, but I had people tell me that it was decent. Like especially Wind Druid, they're like, "Oh man, Wind Druid's like pretty good. Like it's not bad." And then once this open beta came out, I'm like, "Guys, what happened?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's trash. Like I don't know what they did to Druid, but it's like trash now." So it is what it is. Don't play Druid. Play any other class. Like literally every class is better than Druid. Like I said, Rogue was like going to be the last class I ever made. Now that's changed. I'm not going to make a Druid at all unless they make big changes to Druid. It's just not worth it to me. Like I had zero fun playing Druid. It was so bad playing Druid. Barb was fun. Rogue, like I said, I actually had fun playing Rogue. Like the skill set was fun, and it did good damage. Like Rogue does fine damage. I just didn't like the play style of Rogue. Again, I did want to try the Twin Blades, but I didn't get a chance to. Maybe the Twin Blades would have been a lot more fun for me since I like melee a lot, which is why I can't believe I hated Druid so much because I thought, well, at least if I go like Werewolf Druid or Bear Druid, like I'm going to at least have fun. I didn't even have fun playing those because it's the same thing as Tornado. You spend 20 minutes gathering up your spirit, and then you hit a pulverize, and then you spend 20 more minutes doing 0 damage, gathering up your spirit, and then you hit a pulverize, and it's ridiculous. But anyway, enough about how bad Druid is. Just stay away from Druid. Sork, again, fun, super fun class. Hydra Lightning's what I played. Uh, just amazing. The Thorny Barb. I love the Thorn Barb. Actually, this is probably what I'll go at the start. As long as they make no changes to Thorns. When D2 comes out, or D2, when D4 releases, I'll probably play Thorns Barb for the first at least like 20, 30 levels. Um, and then I'll switch to Whirlwind because at level 25, my Whirlwind Barb, like, actually past level 20, like around level 20, 21, it started getting like really fun and like, well, it was fun the whole way, but actually good. Like to where it wasn't like a chore to play. Like I was actually able to get some fury up and kill stuff, you know. But Thorns was just super easy to like level because you didn't do anything. You literally just walked and stuff hit you and it died. Um, Plus, if I play in a group or play with somebody, it'll be super good to be in a group and just taunt things. Like I'll taunt everything, and they won't have to worry about taking any damage. Although if I play with a Necro, it's not gonna matter. They're just gonna carry me to like level level 30 anyway. So anyway, that's Diablo 4. Again, great game. 10 out of 10 for the beta. If the game released this way today, it would be probably like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Um, but because it's beta, I'm a lot more lenient on the things that need changed because I'm hoping they fix a lot of the problems. Um, if you see any bad reviews this weekend, check to see if they played Druid. If they're like, oh, I played Druid, just completely write off that review because Druid is like a 0, like not even a 0. It's like a negative 8,000. Negative 8,000 out of 10 for Druid. Like, I did not have fun at all. Like I said, the skills were fun. Like, the bear form was fun. The werewolf was fun. The wind druid was fun. It was fun, but it was terrible and just like the worst grind. Like I would rather play RuneScape and get all my skills to 99 than to play a druid to level 25 again. Like just no. No, no, no. Not doing it again. I should have stopped when I quit at level 17 because I was like, man, I'm just not having fun. Level 17, I'm like, I'm just going to make a Necro. And I played Necro to 25 and kept playing it. And I wasn't going to level my Druid anymore, but I was like, no, you know what? Let's do it. Let's finish it up to 25. That way I can say I actually gave it a good try. And no, just don't play Druid. Anyway, the game comes out on like 6/6 of this year, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope they make some good changes to the game. Nothing big needs changed, just small changes. And yeah, I'll be playing this game for a while once it comes out. Playing Barb, because Barb is just so fun, and especially if they keep the end game, if they keep the in game Barb the same as it was in the beta. Um, the in game Barb was really fun when I played the in game beta. So yeah, overall great game. I think they did a good job with it. It's quality. It's quality game. But it's Blizzard. They have a ton of money. The game should be quality. The same thing with Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal was trash because it's like pay to win, but the actual game Diablo Immortal was really good. Like if they would make a version of Diablo Immortal that wasn't pay to win, like I would still probably be playing Diablo Immortal because man, I had fun in that game. It's just once you get to the end game and you know you're not spending $800,000 on your character, the game just got boring and stupid because other people were spending $800,000 and just like wrecking everything. So anyway, D4 fun game. Can't wait till it releases. And hopefully, I will see you guys when it comes out. Catch you later.